Cup check, cup check. Ladies and gentlemen and Cubs, this is your captain speaking, welcoming you aboard the Cozy Care Lines. It's good to have you in here today. I hope you're buckled up. I hope you're safe. I hope you're feeling good. Today we're going to be taking an adventure into the unknown. I don't know where we're going. I don't even know who let me pilot this aircraft. But don't worry. You're in safe hands. I think. Chat. Welcome in. Welcome. Thanks for being here. It is your captain speaking. I really should get a hat for this sort of thing. I don't know where this joke began, but somehow this is where we are, and we just kind of lean into it, as we often do many things in life. Thank you, Squid. Thank you. Chat, it is so good to see you all. Welcome to your Monday stream, the start of the week. And hopefully it's been a good one so far. It is a pleasure to have you in here today. Thank you so much for joining us as we try to bring a little bit of cozy into your life. Maybe a little bit of dash of whimsy. We'll throw some turmeric in there for flavor. And it always ends up turning out better than we expected. We're cruising high up in the sky at an altitude of 3,600,000 feet. Don't know how that's possible. Rosie, thank you so much for the 3-stream streak. What an honor to have you in here for 3 streams in a row. Too kind. Virgo, thank you so much for a 130 stream streak. There aren't many like you. I mean that both figuratively as well as literally. Thank you so much for being here. Truly, it means the world. And to everyone else that's in here. Virgo, also thank you so much for the gifted sub. Way too kind. What the heck? Thank you. A round of applause. Coming in here, dropping unprecedented levels of kindness and cozy. Way too kind. And Squid, that is okay. You know what? Sometimes the most random sounds are actually the most fitting. Thank you for being here. Truly, chat, it is an honor to be your connoisseur of cozy today. Your captain of comfy. Your caretaker of all things considerate. Yes, that is a good one. I'm excited for today, excited to be here. I know we meant to stream yesterday as a part of our Stardew Sunday, but hopefully you understand. I just needed a day. So wiped out from this weekend, was working a lot, worked a long day on Saturday. I got to Sunday and just kind of got overwhelmed by all the things in life I'd kind of been putting off, and then also had to work Sunday, which I normally don't have to do. But I had to end up working and came home and just kind of crashed. But I'm feeling a little better today. Got some errands out of the way. Did some of the adulting things. Some of those adulting things are just going to have to get pushed back to a later date. But that's how it goes sometimes. And Unapologetic, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Chat, you can use your Prime sub anywhere. Anytime you choose to use it here, it's always truly an honor. It really is. Not sure what we've done in the past to even be considered a place that you choose to come to or return to, but it always means so much when you all choose to come back here. It means more than I could ever say. So thank you for the Prime. Chat, if you didn't see, we got a few things on the agenda today. We talked about going through my Steam wish list. That is something that we talked about for before Steam's most recent sale. I'm always going on and on about how overly ridiculous my wish list is. It is full of games, full of indie games. Many of them are indie games. And I always try to just pick and choose because a person only has so much money at one given time. And so usually during a Steam sale, I'll usually wait until just about the last day or so of the Steam sale before I make a decision. But during that time, whether the Steam sale lasts for a couple days or it lasts for about a week like it does this time around, I always like to try to go through my wish list and see what games are calling out to me in this moment, what games are on the biggest discount, what games are ones that I simply must play right now. And then I'll add those games to my cart, and then I'll delete the cart, and then I'll do it again, and then I'll do it again until I figure out which games keep making their way to the wish list or out of the wish list into my cart, and then those are the games that I get. It's a whole process, one that is I think masked in an overwhelming sense of decision paralysis, as I like to call it. But yes, Chad, it is something that we're going to go over today, and maybe you'll be able to help me. Maybe you'll see a game on this list that you'll look at and say, no, you got to get that one. That's a good one. So we'll be going over that today. There's also a big update for a game that we've talked about quite often. And that game finally got an update. I have not read it yet. We're going to read it here together. And then after all of that is said and done, I'm thinking we'll continue our chase towards perfection. And so a jam-packed stream full of cubby-like things for cubbies like you and I who like to do cubby things in a world full of cubbies. Actually, there aren't that many of us, but that's okay. That is what makes this community such a special place, right? Anyway, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Truly. I didn't really get to do too much. I'm still trying to finish that Lego set. We mostly finished it in the last stream. But I still have a few. I still have to figure out where to put some of the characters that we built. And then ironically enough, I've already started looking into my next Lego set that I want to get. I don't know which one I want to get, but I've already started looking into it. And one of the ones that I saw that I forgot came out, I think it was last year, was this like it's a Lego replica of a Game Boy, which is one of my first. I think it was my first handheld. Console. And so having that in a Lego set is pretty darn cool. I think I want to get that just for the, you know what I mean? The aesthetic of it, you know? I don't know. I'm becoming a real Lego head. If you haven't noticed, I got into Legos when I was a kid, and I used to like dabble around with them a little bit. But I don't know. It's always fun. It always feels like a full circle moment when you reach adulthood and you find yourself re-interested in things that you were interested in. I always feel like that's our inner child coming out once again, and perhaps we kind of push them to the side or push them away for societal standards, expectations, or pressures from family, friends, parents, things like that. And then, I don't know, you reach a point where you get older, and I think that inner child finds its way back into the things that truly made you happy, and you start to rediscover those things again. And I think that's it's a beautiful full circle moment. That's amazing. I haven't seen that one yet. Oh, you should look it up if you haven't. It's really cool. And I think it even comes with a few little templates that you can put in front of the screen to make it look like the screen is on, like you're playing Tetris or something like that. and then a few cartridges that you can put into the actual Lego to make it look like it's got an actual game in it. It's really, really neat. I think I'm gonna add that to my list of cozy craft days. So hopefully we'll be able to do that together at some point. I think it would just be the tops, wouldn't it? Are we here to enable or help? Well, hopefully a little bit of both. You know, I think we all need a little bit of enabling, but I also need us to decide, be diligent. We're going to make some tough decisions here. Let's see. How are you moving your posters so much, or are we going through a lot of sticky tack? Did I move them? I haven't moved them. I don't think so. Oh, is that Kojo? It is. Yeah, no, okay, so here's the thing. So these posters, they come with a piece of sticky paper. But the wall that I put them on is not a great wall. It's not a great quality wall. I don't know what kind of sort of wood, sort of like faux wood thing this is, but it is not great. And because of that, the papers do not stick. Some of them stick, but some of them have fallen off. And so I had to get extra tape to tape the tape to the wall, if that makes sense. So I had to tape the sticky tape to the wall to ensure that even when the sticky tape fails, hopefully the extra tape that I added to the sticky tape will not. And so the sticky tape itself, you put a magnet on the sticky tape. And then that is what allows you to move these around without ever having to get a new piece of sticky tape. So it's why it's so important to be sure, for me to be sure where I want. Like whenever I moved into a new place, I always have to get new sticky tape. But wherever you put the sticky tape, that's where it's going to be. You can't take it off and move it again, but you can move the posters because the posters just stick to a magnet, which is stuck to the sticky tape. So, which is really nice. I think that's the thing I like about it the most, because I don't ever have to, like if I ever just get to, get a whole new series at some point, I like to get matching series, get a few different ones that all are kind of the same art style. And then I can like redesign it. It's really nice that you can move them around. That's my favorite part about them. I love that you can rearrange them. You could change them because there's a lot that you can't see. There's this whole top row of posters that you never see because they're just too high. But sometimes I'll move some of those down and move some of these ones that you see a lot up. And it just allows me to change up the background a little bit. Makes it a bit more, makes it feel like it's always changing. I'm also obsessed with these posters. So I'm always looking on the website and seeing if there's new ones that stand out to me or ones that I think are just kind of unique and fun and or anime related. I think at some point this whole wall will probably be anime at some point, or a collage to anime. And then the ones behind me, like these ones, are a bit more like gaming related. But at some point, yeah, these will all be anime. And then I have other ones that aren't anime. They're like just art or nature or food. And those are scattered around other parts of my humble abode. At some point, I would like to do an apartment tour. And I'm not sure how we're going to do that. Maybe we'll do it as like a members thing that you can access on YouTube or something. Because I'm still trying to figure out, there's got to be like some benefit to memberships on YouTube. And I thought about doing like a little apartment tour, like having certain little vlogging type videos that you can only access that way, which would be fun. It'd just be like an extra little thing if you just want to hear my humble ramblings about things. Or maybe I go on like a solo dinner or something and take you all with me, and then we have like dinner, like a little solo dinner, which I thought would be fun. something like that. Something like that would be good. So I think if I ever do finish this apartment, I will in fact do an apartment tour that you'll be able to find that way, which would be fun. That sounds like a great idea. I'm really excited about it. 24/7. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Rye dates the Cub house. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Rye builds a piece of furniture with the Cubs. Rye takes a ride with the Cubs. So I would, because one thing I thought about doing would be doing like POV sort of like content, like if I ever like, because I enjoy biking and things, and would love to do like a sort of like get like a little POV camera. There's one that I actually was looking at that I really liked, and I thought it would be a great addition to future vlogs. So I don't know where I'm like what my next little adventure is going to be, my next solo adventure, but I thought if I did one, the next one that I would do I would bring that camera so that you can get like more walking shots and like things of like from my like perspective, which I guess you can kind of do with the camera that I have, but it's not but this would just be like just a different perspective. Ride teaches us how to drive. Oh my gosh. I'm an excellent driver, chat. I'm an excellent driver. Show us things at Rye hide. I know I'll get a little helmet or something, and I'll put it on my head, like the little camera, because I think the camera is magnetized, so you can stick it to like poles and things and get really little fun little walking bits and things. So I thought that would be kind of a fun little add-on. Yeah, I think my coffee is ready. Let me grab it really quick, and then we'll check out this update. Okay, also, chat, random question. Before we begin, what are your thoughts on physical media? Because there is a game, there's actually 2 games that I want to get. Actually, there's 3 games I want to get. One of them I already have, which was Story of Seasons. But before I bought Story of Seasons on Steam, I really wanted to get it on my Switch because I wanted the physical disc. And I've always loved, like with every console generation, I've always loved having a little collection that you could put on like a bookshelf or something of my games. You know, both like past and present. And so I've always been a lover of getting like physical versions of a game. There's also like a bit of excitement that comes when you go to pick a game up and it shows up, or maybe you have it shipped to you and you open it up and it's got that fresh smell. It like brings me back every time to my childhood when I would get a new game and it'd have little booklets, little instruction manuals, little stickers, things like that. It is so fun. So it's tough because I love my Switch, but I also love my Steam Deck, and there's like being able to have your whole Steam library whenever I go on like a little trip or something. Like the Steam Deck is usually what I'll grab because it's easier, because I don't have to bring any games because they're all already on my thing. Whereas like my Switch, I do have to bring a whole little like game card case, which is actually in here, which ironically enough is also shaped like a Game Boy, but in here has all of my games from like my Switch era. And it has, I think it has enough space for like 60 or 70. but I really enjoy it. So anytime there is a game that is on Switch, I'm always thinking I should probably try to get it as like a physical. But I want to know your thoughts on that. I love physical media. I used to have a larger collection, but the world convinced me that was silly because everything was digital now. Regrets, I know. I still think back to my 360 era and my PlayStation 3, PS2 era, back when I had a Nintendo 64. I sold that when I was a kid because this was back in the era where like you didn't have if you were a kid, you didn't have money. You just sold your games to GameStop and then you get credit towards another game. And that was how you got the latest whatever. And then I look back now and I'm like, man, I really wish I never sold those games. I really wish I kept them. Those consoles too. Like, and since then I've been trying to get my hands on those consoles that are ironically enough considered retro now. But N64 was a big one. So, I mean, I'm sure I could find an N64 from like some retro retail store. I, for some reason, haven't brought myself to buy it yet, but that is kind of a big, like, I think childhood thing that I would love to get an N64 with Mario 64, maybe Smash Bros, maybe Star Fox. I think Ocarina of Time. I think that was also N64, and then GoldenEye. That was like the pinnacle of late night sleepovers for me and friends, as we would play any of those five, and you had hours and hours of gaming to be had. It was great. I'd like to rebuild my collection. I would as well. Yeah, I'm kind of working on it. And Breezy, welcome in. Good to see you. I don't own much physical media. My brother has every packing of a physical media game he has owned since the first PlayStation. See that? That sounds like the brain of someone that was thinking into the future. I wish I had that foresight. I mean, now I haven't sold the game in well over a decade, but back when I was in like middle school, high school, yeah, I would sell a game in a heartbeat. I just didn't think about the value of what it would mean now to still have some of those games. I'm sure even on like OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, I'm sure there's someone who's selling an old N64 or something for probably not that much. Probably could find one for maybe a little over 100. I have a really neat Switch case that has game slots. Maybe I can link it in Discord for any companies looking for a case. Yeah, I would love to see it. I mean, I got this case because it was really portable. It's like you could fit it in your pocket, which I think is great. And so by that, I think it's one of my favorites. But yeah, I think I should just probably just try to get the physical if I can. That's usually what I do. Steam is just really it's really tough because I always go back and forth and I'm like, yeah, but I could also just get it on Steam. But this is how they get you. There's something special about about adding games to your collection though. There really is. It's gotten harder to get physical copies as well, for sure. And like, you know, I usually will get games on Steam, especially if it's like an indie game, because most indie games don't receive physical releases. And so occasionally you'll have some games that do. Like I just realized Stardew apparently has a physical release that came out a while back. I had no idea about that. I've also seen Nine Souls, Undertale. I think Grease and Neva had physical releases, which I want to get. I would love to get the physical of Grease and Neva. You know how much I love those games. However, I already have them. So I think when I looked it up, I'll look it up right now. There was a Grease and Neva bundle and a collector's edition as well. Oh my gosh, there's a Grease and Neva bundle, chat. It's $200. For what purpose? Oh, well, it does come with a lot. Oh, you've got steelbooks for Grease Neva. You've got the physical games. You've got art prints. You've got a premium hardcover art book with a sleeve. Okay, Chad, I actually would spend money on this. I really would. You've got the original soundtrack as a double vinyl. Okay, yeah, I would spend money on this. Okay, never mind. I take it back. I take it back. I would spend money on this. I love, these are some of my favorite indie games of all time. I actually would love this. I mean, if I could turn this into content somehow, I would buy it, but it's just like, ooh, that is tough. That's tough. That's so expensive though. That's so expensive. I did want the Neva vinyl when it came out. I think if you go what is the publisher of Devolver Digital? Chad, if you go to Devolver Digital, they're kind of like Fangamer, and they have a whole portfolio of all the games that they publish, and Neva is one of those games. I think they publish for Namada Studio, but you can also, they have merch and things like that. One of the merch things that they have was this blanket that I thought was so adorable. They even have Cults of the Lamb stuff and a pretty adorable Cults of the Lamb blanket. Pretty adorable. Hold on, let me show you. Hold on. Sorry, I was playing Zelda. Okay. Look at that, chat. Look at this. Look at that. That is pretty stinking cute. What I love is the little frillies on the outside that have all these different colors, which is kind of what drew me to the Stardew Valley blanket that I have, which I got from Fangamer, and it's great quality. It's my favorite blanket. I almost won't use it because an unboxing vid. Oh yeah, I guess they do those things. Yeah, huh. Yeah, I guess I could do that. And Meg, it is good to see you. Or should we say birthday Meg? I think that's a better name. My stream broke too. Oh, your streak? Oh, what were you at? I don't even remember. I know it was pretty high though. I think it was pretty high. And Abby, hello, good to see you. Chat, can we get some hype in for any of our first time chatters? And can we get some hype in the chat right now? Any emotes you have, any emotes you can throw down for Meg. Happy birthday, Meg. I hope you have a wonderful day. Truly. I hope it's full of more love and candy and chocolate and sweets than you possibly can handle. You deserve it. If anything, I hope it just includes a day of relaxation. Better now, except for Twitch stealing my stream streak. I'm so sorry. That is so annoying. But sushi for dinner with friends. Oh, sushi will help. That sounds perfect. Okay. The blanket is fabulous. I know, right? I really want to get back into Cult of the Lamb, but now at this point in the year, we're so close to getting back to February, or getting back to Spooktober, that we'll probably just start it in August. Was it June now? I think it'll be a nice little prelude into spooky season, and so we're gonna start over from scratch. We're actually going to get through this game. I think August might be entirely dedicated to Cult of the Lamb, chat. We may just have to take a break from everything else and completely dedicate it to this game. It also has multiple DLCs, and their biggest DLC just dropped a couple months ago, earlier this year. And I really want to play it. And so we may just be Cult of the Bears for the month of August. And then in September, we'll start dipping our toes into some of the spookier, some slightly spooky games. There was, I forgot what is that ghost game? There was a ghost game that you all wanted me to try. I've been wanting to get it for so long, but it's never on sale. Every Steam sale that has passed, that game is not on sale. I forgot what it was called though, but that one, there's another game, Omari. That's an indie game. Yeah, there's quite a few. There's quite a few. Yeah, it was a ghost game. It's here. I'll look it up right now. It's at the bottom of my wish list. I forgot what it's called. Oh, we got to do Grave Seasons. Yeah, Grave Seasons too. Oh my gosh, I forgot. We might not even be able to do this Cult of the Lamb in August because that's when Fields of Mystery 1.0 drops in August, I think. And so Ripperonis. Maybe we'll end up doing just those two games though. Okay, let me see. It's let me see. Chat, it's gonna bother me. Yeah, Grave Seasons doesn't have a release date. It just says 2026, but I'm very much looking forward to Grave Seasons, Witchbrook. Yeah, those are a few good ones. Actually, you know what? It's fine. I'll find it, chat. I don't remember what that game was called. I think Meg used to tell me I should try it. And I've been wanting to try it, but it's never on sale. Something is it? Wait. Return of the Oberdin. Return of the Oberdin. That's what it's called. And it's like a ghost. I think it's like a ghost ship sort of game. I don't know. But I do want to play it. I was literally about to ask if you'll play that this year. That is on the top. That is very high on the list because we were supposed to play that last year. We just never got to it. That's why we're starting Spooktober early this year. So I think in August, we're probably going to do Cult of the Lamb and try to get through all the DLCs. And then we're probably going to do Fields of Mystery 1.0 and really dive into those two. And then in September, we'll start diving into our Spooktober list and then try to save the spookiest ones for the actual month of October. And we'll see. Anyway, let's take a look at this, chat. Let's take a look at this. Let me put on our cozy little music here. Okay. There's something we must discuss. We must discuss this. Concerned Apes Haunted Chocolatier. A game that I think many of us have questioned even exists. I would put Haunted Chocolatier, I would put up on the same list of mysterious mysteries as Witchbrook. A game that, even though we just got an update for Witchbrook, I still question. Are we being pranked? Is this game real? Is it actually going to come out? It seems like it might. But a game that continues to elude us to this day is that of Haunted Chocolatier. And so we got an update. Is this a long update? Okay, it's not that long. It's not that long, but it is. It apparently gives us an update on the game. And hopefully some sort of positive affirmation that this game is still happening. So let's go ahead and read it. Let's see. I'll try to boost it up here. Okay. This should be good. All right. Haunted Chocolatier from Concerned Apes. Still here. Still grinding. Yep. I'm still working on the game. Feels kind of dumb posting this same thing over and over. But that's the reality. I know it's taking a long time. A big part of that is that I'm being very thoughtful about every aspect of the game. The things in the game which the player will be interacting with or using very often need to be perfect. Oh, perfect. Oh, they need to be seamless, clear, intuitive, satisfying, and aesthetic. I got to put an emphasis on the aesthetic part. I would say that a big part of the charm of Stardew Valley is, of course, the clear, intuitive nature of the game. And I'm sure that even back when it first came out, I'm sure many of you can attest to this, it didn't always start out that way. I'm sure that when that game first came out, 10 years ago, it almost probably looks like a very different game than what exists today. And I'm sure that the same thing will happen with this game. But, you know, I think it goes without saying that there is a lot of pressure on Haunted Chocolatier to be significantly better at its beginning than Stardew Valley was at its beginning, because the standard has been set. The expectation is there. The people want what the people want, you know? And yeah, thank you so much for the follow. All right. It continues on by saying, lately, I've been revisiting the recipe book for mini chocolates. As with many things in the game, I've iterated on this many times, each time bringing it closer to its final form. To me, it's not a simple task, as I torture myself over every last detail. This is a UI you will be using fairly often, so it has to be perfect. There's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure on this game. You need to be able to accomplish your goal with the minimum number of clicks. There needs to be just the right amount of data presented to the player, not so much as to be overwhelming, but not as little as to be trivial or mundane. And the way that this data is laid out on the page is crucial. If the data is all clustered together, it will be disgusting to look at. The data needs to be grouped into compelling, intuitive, and easy to read / understand groupings. It needs to look appealing and intriguing, and this is just the bare minimum that players will likely take for granted. If all of that is accomplished, then the player is now comfortable while pursuing the recipe book. But I want more than just comfort. I want to delight the player. All of this typically requires me to iterate on something several times before I'm satisfied with it. So there's a lot of technical jargon, and I'm sure, I'm sure this is something that we as like players and lovers of the cozy and comfy potentially take for granted when we go about playing a game. I'm sure even doing something as simple as completing a quest in Stardew Valley is something that probably took many, many rounds of iteration. And we've watched videos on the very early kind of, builds of Stardew, and how it took dozens of iterations and changes and adjustments for it to look like how it does today. Just to get the color scheme of that game took multiple rounds of iteration. And so knowing that this game is likely bigger at its beginning than Stardew Valley, we're not obviously not considering Stardew Valley expanded, but if we're just talking about base Stardew, I think from what we've seen and read about this game, the little that we know about it, we do know that it's going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger in almost every way. It's going to be more ambitious. It's going to be fuller. It's going to be, it's what you would expect, and then some, I'm hoping. And not only is it going to be a big game, it's going to be a game that's likely going to expand over time as well. And so there's so much about this game that I think needs to be, I guess, for lack of a better word, perfect at the start, or else you risk losing players early on. And I don't know. As excited as I am for this game, I also too want to go into it and feel like many of you, charmed and delighted and wowed, and not just feel like it's a Stardew clone, or like a Stardew DLC, an expansion on the world of Stardew, but in its own way. I want it to be its own thing. I want to feel like it holds familiarity in the same ways a delicious bowl of mac and cheese holds that familiarity. Even if you get it from somewhere else, there still needs to be that core element of what you love about the genre or about that food. And I think that needs to be present in this game, but I think it also needs to have something that's completely its own, completely different, And so he goes on to say, and it's a big game, so there are many things for me to fuss over. but this is what it will take to make a game I'm satisfied with. Side note, please excuse me, but I don't like to share too many screenshots or even talk about the systems in too much detail while the game is in development. Partly, it feels like I'm serving a half-baked bread. I love this analogy, chat, because if you've ever had half-baked bread, you know that whole-baked bread is significantly better. And while I have been found guilty of eating my way through half-baked bread because I was hungry and didn't want to wait, the entire time I chewed that bread, I couldn't help but think, man, imagine if this was cooked. You know what I mean? Just think about that. This would be so much better. You know? I was going to say it's edible, but not peak form. It's like I can eat it. It may or may not hurt my stomach. But if it was cooked, oh, this would be so much better. I would rather serve a fully baked bread. Me too. Also, I know that many parts of the game will likely evolve and change before release. So if I reveal them too early, I risk disappointing players if the final product does not match their expectation. Fortunately, I'm in a position where I don't need to market the game, so I can take my preferred approach. That is really nice. As always, I really appreciate your patience, Ape. Honestly, chat, this might be more information than we've ever gotten on the game. And I know that this didn't really tell you much about anything other than the fact that creating a game of this scale and size takes a significant amount of innovation and adjustments, and yeah, it requires a lot. But other than that, we didn't really learn anything about the actual game. But one thing I do want to point out that I think is really it spells a lot about the pressure of this game is that Stardew Valley, which is a game that I don't think Concerned Ape or any of us ever considered when that game came out, that it would become the staple, the benchmark of what we look for in many games in and out of the genre. There are so many games that have RPG elements that I look at, that have cozy elements that I look at, that I compare to Stardew Valley. It could be chess. It could be a game of checkers. I ask myself, well, can I romance any of the chess pieces? No? Then I don't care. I don't care. No, I think that Stardew Valley has become the benchmark of gaming as a whole. And there's so many elements, from the farming to the relationships of the characters, to the characters themselves, how interesting and intriguing they are, that I look for in just about any new game that I play to this day. And I don't think any of us anticipated that Stardew Valley would become such a staple and such a powerhouse of a term, that it would provide such flexibility to where you don't even have to market it, you know? And I don't want to compare it to some of the big AAA giants that exist now, but I would say in terms of like indie games, there aren't very many indie games that like you don't need to market to get, you know, to get people excited or to get people to know about it, you know? And I'm sure there are lots of folks out there that whether or not they've even played Stardew Valley, they probably have heard about Haunted Chocolatier, at least have heard the name. And I think that that's saying something, you know? I think the only other game that has that kind of pull, that they don't even need to show any gameplay and people will be excited for it and be talking about it and buy it, it's like GTA, you know? Like the like, I mean, you really think about that. There, especially for like an indie space, there are not many games out there that I think could just drop and people would buy it. Like, I don't think Haunted Chocolatier would even need to show any gameplay for people to still want to buy it. If all we got is a little teaser that said when the release date was, that teaser trailer would absolutely explode. And I think that's such a great place to be in, because I think it allows us to retain and the essence of something that doesn't really exist anymore, and that's the element of surprise and whimsy and not really knowing anything about it. When we live in such a time where we're just so exposed to information before anything releases, because, you know, companies want to sell the game or they want to sell the movie, and so they give you all the things that they know will get you to watch it, versus, I don't know, versus the very few filmmakers that exist that you don't really even need to show anything. I think Christopher Nolan is on that category of people that, like, you don't like, who doesn't need to show anything about his movie and people would probably see it. I don't think him not showing anything about his movie would really impact the sale of that movie at all. And I like to think that Stardew Valley is up there, and I'd like to think Concerned Ape is on that same level of someone that has proven that quality matters, and that, you know, that because they're making it, because they truly care about the project, that it's going to be good no matter what. So I don't know. I'm excited. Did we get is there anything else? Okay, so this is just stuff that we've seen before. Little images. We don't really, and I'm sure the game probably doesn't even look like this anymore. I mean, maybe more or less, but it's probably changed since this image, which was this was January of last year. I mean, imagine how much visually has changed about this one image, from the character to the other characters to the overall design. I'm sure it looks so much better than it does a year ago. So this was back in January. Wow. Many of these images I've never even seen. But I will say that while the wait for this game has been absolute torture, it's nice to know that Stardew Valley is still going so strong. I think for so many, it's nice to know that we're kind of on the ground floor of this thing, you know, seeing how it's being built. And it'll be really cool down the line to get a documentary, the same way we kind of got a little bit of a documentary for Stardew. It'll be nice to see how Haunted Chocolatier has refined into what the final product will be when we play it. I hope we can have these little pets, because that would be amazing. Some character models. Wow, it's so crazy. I've never read any of this. I don't know anything about this game. Oh, recent updates, Stardew Valley 1.7. So this is back in September. Wow. Oh, this was addressing many of the issues or many of the concerns that people had about the announcement of 1.7, and the worry that this might detract from the release of Haunted Chocolatier, or at least, you know, would slow it down. And it looks like, at any rate, Haunted Chocolatier will release at some point. That's great. That's great. If there's anything we can take from this article, or really any of the information here, chat, it is that Haunted Chocolatier will release eventually. And then a bunch of other updates. Characters. These Junimo-looking creatures. All right. Cool. Well, there's your update, chat. There's your update. Very exciting. I'm excited for Haunted Chocolatier. I mean, anytime we get information about this game, I get excited. I wish that I had seen this. This apparently dropped a couple days ago. And so I'm just now seeing it and wanted to talk to you all about it, because I think that it is, I think it's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting. What did we learn about this article read? It's that game development is hard. Anyway. Anyway, Chad, thanks for indulging me on that. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that quite a bit. All right, so next up on the docket, Concerned Ape is intentional. Confirmed. Oh, man. I mean, you got to respect the dedication, though. I will say that. While the wait has been hard, it's been bearable, you got to respect the dedication. I wonder if UI tweaks means he's mostly done with the game. Who knows? Honestly, who knows? I would hope that it means that there's some significant progress that has happened. But who knows how long UI tweaks will take. And you know, then you think about something like what is it? You think about something like Witchbrook and what they mentioned at the end of their article, which was you never know what development thing that you do causes a bug, and then being able to find that bug where it is in the whole data, that can take a long time. I can't imagine going through all of this code to try to find where this bug is. I cannot imagine. That's got to be so much work. That's got to be so much work. Anyway, chat, where should we go from here? We have two different things we could do. We could go through my Steam wish list and look at all of the games that I am thinking about currently and trying to decide between, and try to make that a fun little thing. I don't know what will we even do with that? Or we could not do that. I truly think that the decision is up to you. Wishlist workshop. All right, chat. We're doing it. Chat, I need your help. I typically do not. I don't like asking for help. It's actually very difficult, but I need you to be an unbiased jury here. Steam Summer Sale is available right now. And at this time, it is about a week left. I have a Steam wish list of 300, and I need to decide which of these 300 games, oh my God, 300 is so many, am I going to get? Now, this list is full. It is full of indie games. And every time there's a Steam sale, I always try to pick at least a few of them to add to the list. Whether I'm going to play them now or not, it really depends on a number of things. But I always like to pick up a few indie games. And so let's see. I'm going to go down the list. I don't know if I should maybe I'll do it by price, because whenever I go through my Steam wish list, I always try to make the decision about which games I'm going to get based on which receive the highest discounts. Because there are certain games that are already pretty cheap that like you don't need to really pressure yourself to get just because it's not on sale. Like Kill the Crows. This is a game that I'd added to my Steam wish list. It looked like a fun little kind of top-down indie game, and it's usually $5. And right now it's on sale for $2.50, which is great, right? But if I decided not to get it, it wouldn't really change that much, right? Versus this Rain World, normally $25. This has been in my wish list forever, and I just skip it every time. I skip it every time. But it's currently on sale for $250. This is something this is a discount I would be more apt to jump on than like one that's already on a pretty decent discount, you know? You don't need to buy 10 games for 99 cents. I promise there'll be 99 cents again in a month. That is so true. That is so true. Yeah, many of these games do end up going on sale a lot. Like a lot. There's some that have been on my list for a long time that go on sale quite often. But let's take a look. So let's see. Bird Story. This was a game that I saw that I really liked the pixel graphics of. I think some of you mentioned Summer in Mara. I don't know. This one, I don't remember this one. Oh yeah, I think I do remember some of you mentioning this. Did Meg suggested this one? The backpacks are adorable. So Summer in Mara, take care of your own island and sail with your boat in this cozy farming adventure. Relax and unwind exploring a tropical archipelago or harvesting your own crops while helping others. Discover the story of Summer in Mara with farming, crafting, and exploring mechanics. I do like the backpacks though. They are really nice. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So that one is currently on a really nice discount. 90% off. I think I saw someone suggested this one too. Aspire Ina's Tale. There's Rain World. Rain World is on a really big discount. Wait, was that you? Was that you, Meg? You mentioned Aspire? Yeah, I think I took a look at this trailer and I really love the color and the art style. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Transistor, which was kind of one of the first indie games I ever really got into. Looking at sales history, looks like it's the cheapest Mara has been in a while. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it go that low. And I've had it in my wish list last Steam sale, which was back in March. And I remember specifically looking at that game and it was not it might have been like 20% off or something. So but yeah, Aspire I might consider looking at. So okay, so we got to make a short list. So Summer in Mara is on that list. Aspire, 80% off right now. Very high on the list. Now, Rain World was one that I looked at a little bit. I don't know anything about this game. You are a nomadic slug cat. Both predator and prey in a broken ecosystem. Grab your spear and brave the industrial waste. hunting enough food to survive, but be wary, other bigger creatures have the same plan. And slug cats look delicious. It's a slug cat. It has a lot of reviews. And decently positive, very positive. And it has a very, I mean, I thought every time I look at it, it almost looks like a spookier game, which I guess it's not. It's more atmospheric survival exploration. But I feel like this could be a game that we play during our Spooktober, which I think would be good. All right. So maybe Rain World is a maybe. However, I feel like Rain World should definitely be on that, being $250. Like that's insane. Geometry Dash, it's only not that big of a sale. Let's see. See, they almost get you because all of these games are on sale, but some of them aren't that much on sale. Like this is normally $5. It's currently $3.50. Like I think, you know what I mean? If you chose to skip it for the sale, I think you'll live. But this game, Omno is normally $17. It's on sale for about $4. A single player journey of discovery through an ancient world of wonders, created by a solo developer, Jonas Monk. Now, chat, you know how I feel about solo devs. I think anyone that is able to make a game that they build on their own is incredible. I mean, it's fantastic. And even just looking at it right now, knowing that this game was made by one person, like that's insane. That's insane. I mean, that's true talent. I might have to get this game on that merit alone, just at least check it out. Because it's currently, let's see, it's on a really big sale too. Oh, chat. Okay, this one might be on the list too. This one might be on the list. Yeah, it has Journey. Yeah, that is so true. It has Journey vibes, big time. Okay. Now this is one that Lost but Found. I don't know if it was Lost but Found or another game. It was kind of like a sort of an inventory management game. This game I heard was a really good indie. It's called The Messenger. It's more of like a Metroidvania, but I love the pixel graphics. Chat, you know how much I love pixel graphics. I love pixel graphics. And this one kind of has just that like old school, sort of almost retro vibe, which I really like. So if you're someone that has played this game or any game like it and you can vouch for it, please let me know. I may just get it anyway. It's currently on, I mean, it's $3.50, usually $18. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see. Tiny Pasture looks adorable, but it's not. I don't even know. So this is a farming sim. Oh, it's an idler game. So I don't even know if it's one that you play versus one that just kind of plays itself. Now this is one that I was actually interested in. I don't know if anyone ever actually tried this game. It's called Ete. It came out July of 2024. This game I was really interested in when I saw it, because it's basically you enter this world that is full of muted colors and you basically paint the entire world. And then you decorate and put up, different decorations and ornaments and things like that. And you essentially create the world, which I think is super cool. But you basically walk around and you paint the whole world, which I think is really neat. It just seemed like a really cool, like cozy, relaxing game. When we thought about doing slumber sessions, which were games that you could fall asleep to, I always thought that this would be a really cool addition to that. I don't know if I'm going to continue with that series, but I thought if I did, I would do something like this. I would do like, if I could find like a walking sim sort of game, I would play that. Maybe Skyrim, I think, would be a fun one to do as well. But it's a relaxing painting game set in Montreal. Color the city to explore, create artworks on canvas, collect stamps in your album, decorate your studio, fulfill commissions from your neighbors, and unleash your inner artist. I think this game just looks really comfortable. really cozy. And surprisingly enough, it came out 2 years ago. It doesn't have that many reviews. I almost want to play this game just to put more people's eyes on it, because I think it's worth talking about. It's just such a unique sort of thing. You know, nothing. I haven't seen anything like it. And it's on its biggest sale yet. 75% off. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see. Yonder, the Cloud Chaser Chronicle, Cloud Catcher Chronicles. I don't remember when I added this one, but it's on sale for 85% off. I don't really know anything about it though. I think it's it's an open world exploration game. I don't remember adding this. I don't remember adding this, but that's most of my Steam wish list. Some of these games I've added so long ago, I couldn't even tell you when I did. Yonder was a great game. Would you say it's more just like kind of cozy exploration, or is one I've actually played? It's very cute. Plus, you can search for hidden cats. Wait, really? All right, I might have to get this one, chat. I might have to get this one. $3, chat, or we'll round up. So it's $4, but it's normally 25. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see. What else? What else do we see on a pretty deep discount? There was this one game. Yeah, I added this one a while ago. It's called Fae. I think I added it because I really like the art style. But you run, climb, and glide your way through a dark Nordic forest and explore its living, breathing ecosystem filled with secrets and mysterious creatures. Become Fae and discover a world you will never want to leave. Came out in 2018. It looks kind of cute though. Isn't this the same dev as the Grow Song of the Evertree? Someone recommended a few times. Really? Developer Zoink? I don't know. When I click it, it brings up all of EA's games. So I'm actually not sure. Oh, that was about Yonder? Oh. It's all about exploring and restoring the area, setting up mini farms in different biomes. Oh. And helping out people you meet. Oh, that's cool. So that was Yonder. I might have to get this one. I do like the it's kind of an open world, relaxing exploration game. All right. Oh, chat, this was one I was really interested in. The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. This is one that I was always interested in because it felt very atmospheric and mysterious. Like, what was that one game that we played? Gosh, the name escapes me. Edith Finch. Holy moly. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Edith Finch. Is this the same developer as What Remains of Edith Finch? That was a great game. I really, really enjoyed the way they told that story. But yeah, What Remains of Ethan Carter is a first-person story-driven mystery. Purchase the game to get both the original and the Unreal Engine 4 remaster called The Vanishing of Ethan Carter Redux. Oh. Yeah, I don't know anything about this game, but when I first got a PC and I was looking into indie games and I was learning about Steam sales and stuff, which is something I'd never really known about because I was always either on Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo. This was one game that I remember really liking the look of. Like some of the earliest games I remember like being interested in the indie space were like Limbo, Journey, What Remains of Edith Finch, and this game. And probably a few others. But this came out in 2014. And I think this could be a really fun one for us to play during our Spooktober, where we lean more heavily into mystery, semi-spoopy, sort of interesting sort, you know, just a completely different vibe. I like that one. Yeah, I really enjoyed What Remains of Edith Finch. That was such a great game. Such a great game. Such a great game. Okay, so this one might be on the list. It's currently on sale for $4, chat. $4. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Bionic Bay was another one. This came out last year, and it's more of like a platformer, another sort of atmospheric game. But this was actually one of my most anticipated games of 2025. I never got to play it, but I really liked the art style of it. It's more of like a 2D, kind of almost looks like it has pixel graphics in a way, but I guess not really. I just really enjoy the art style. And it's a scientist uses a unique teleportation instrument to escape an ancient biomechanical world filled with imaginative technology, deathly traps, and hidden secrets. The backgrounds are very nice. They really are. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember being really interested in this game when it came out. But I heard it was pretty short, and I didn't want to spend. I wasn't sure if I wanted to spend the money on it at that time when I was so interested in so many games at once. But and Diplo, welcome in. So I may end up getting this one just because it's on a super deep discount. Another game that's on a really deep discount, Strange Horticulture. Chat, have any of you played this game? Strange Horticulture is an occult puzzle game which you play as a proprietor of a local plant store. Do I have this game? Oh, Strange Antiquities. That's the one I have. Strange Antiquities. Strange Horticulture is supposed to be exceptionally good. Really? Meg, have you played this? Can you vouch for this game? Did you enjoy it? It's an occult puzzle game in which you play as a proprietor of a local plant store. Find and identify new plants, pet your cat, speak to a coven, or join a cult. Use your collection of powerful plants to influence the story and unravel Undermere's dark mysteries. I loved it. It was very good, but puzzly. Antiquities before Horticulture, but you can play them separately. So they're by the same person or by the same developer, or they're just different. What? Okay. Yeah, this one it's on sale too. It's the same dev. Okay. This one's on sale too. These are some good choices, chat. Bionic Bay. This one was one I was interested in just because of the art style as well. A lot, if you're new here, if you haven't heard it a million times already, a lot of what draws me to a game is its art style, its music, or its story. So either the story really appeals to me, or it's something that seems very interesting. The art style seems like something that just kind of speaks to me or feels very warming, or the music just absolutely slaps. It's usually one of those three, or the combination of the two. And then of course, like, gameplay is important too. But Dordogne was one that I really liked for its kind of like watercolor palette and all of that. Immerse yourself in a unique narrative experience and explore the 1,000 summer colors of Dordogne as you revisit your childhood to uncover lost family secrets in this touching formative journey. I don't know. I may want to get this one too. So I don't know if any of you have played this. If you have and can vouch for it, let me know. It's currently on sale for $5. It's not bad. I think that if a game, I would say $10 or more, I would say it's worth it to get on a sale. But if it's on sale, you know what I mean? Like for like $1, if it's like $1 less than what it normally is, then maybe not. Dordogne was beautiful. I played it. Okay. Okay. That might be all I need. That might be all I need to convince me. Because this has been on my like, I added this chat. I love how it shows when you added a game. Because that plays into my decision as well. I'm like, well, if I added this game 3 years ago and I still haven't gotten it, maybe I should get it now versus a game that maybe I want to get that came out, or maybe a game that I added a week ago, you know? Now, speaking of Spooktober, A Witch's House is one that I was very interested in last year that we never actually played. A young girl, Viola, is drawn inexorably to a mysterious manor that seems to change behind her back. It is a place of pain, turmoil, and death. Plumb its detestable depths and an abominable history. Untangle riddles that bar your perilous path and flee the hellish halls of the witch's house. I don't know if it was this one, but I did like the art style because we played a game that had a similar art style to this, but this one leans very spooky. And so this is definitely going to be a Spooktober. Yeah, it's about you. Oh gosh. The possessed teddy bears though, that might ruin it for me. Okay. It wasn't the witch's house specifically. This one does seem really interesting though, as far as Spooktober. I think this is where the Steam sale for the summer always gets me too, because at this point in the year, I'm already kind of thinking about the fall, and I'm thinking about Spooktober. And so some of the games I want to get are more related to games I want to play then. And so I'm just going to wait. Then I know Steam will have a fall sale as well, but that probably won't hit, I don't think, until September. I think they do a fall sale in September. They do another sale. They do another sale in November, and then they do a winter sale in December. So I mean, you know, there's always another sale. Always dreaming of fall. I really am. Okay. So we've gotten some vouchers for Strange Horticulture. We've gotten some vouchers for Dordogne. So might have to add those. And they're on a pretty decent discount. Let's see. What else is there? Undermine? Tinykin? This game is overwhelmingly positive and it's on sale for $5. Catch hundreds of Tinykin and use their unique powers to bring Milo back to his home planet and back to normal size. So is this kind of like, what's that Nintendo game where you collect those little creatures? I do love the art style though. It's predicted to be October 1 through 8th. Okay. Well, that's later than I thought. Pikmin. Thank you. I knew someone was going to say it. Pikmin. Yes. This feels like Pikmin, but like a different variation of Pikmin. But it's called Tinykin. I added this. When did I add this? 2 years ago. Oh my gosh. 2 years ago. Interesting. Has anyone ever played Guacamelee? I remember this game being a big talk back when it came out. I mean, this was years ago this game came out, but I remember this was one that people talked about a lot. Like a lot. Guacamelee 2. I don't know if I have the first one on wishlist. Super Turbo Championship Edition. Yeah, I don't think I have the first one. I should add that to my Steam wishlist. I do want to get it at some point. I just don't know when. Okay. Let's see. What else do they have? Oh, it was Ship Inc. That was the box one that we talked about. I love a good simulation game, chat. I love a game where you can kind of just either decorate a room or pack boxes or unpack boxes, even though I do have my opinions about unpacking games. I think unpacking was probably the best unpacking game that I'd ever played, which I guess is no surprise because the game is called Unpacking, but there were some I even had some complaints about that game. So I don't know. However, I've never played a game in which you actually pack the boxes. And so this could be exactly what we've been looking for. But you run a wholesome shipping business. Ship Inc. is a cozy job simulator where you're a packaging employee in a parcel shipping company. Follow the shipment orders, choose the package size, and prepare parcels. You can upgrade your office, deliver orders safely and quickly. So this game, I just added it earlier this year. It actually just came out. It came out a year ago. It's $5. It's not that much on sale from its original price, but I would still consider getting this one. Yeah, just because of its because it looks so darn cozy. All right. We have Camper Van. We have Piece Together. Let's see. What else is there? Chat, I'm just going to keep scrolling. Let me know if there's a game that really stands out to you. Copycat. You play as a cat. Very interesting. Plate Up. Oh, I think I was interested in this game, but it's a co-op game. I don't think you can play this solo, unfortunately. It's a roguelike cooking management. Yeah, I think it's kind of like Overcooked, but perhaps without all of the frustration that Overcooked provides. If you've ever played Overcooked, you know what I'm talking about. That game is incredibly infuriating. Lodal Knot is on sale, chat. It's on sale from 18. It's now on sale for 6. You play as an interstellar custodian sent to clean up a polluted ocean planet. You pick up trash, explore the vibrant waters, and take care of axolotl-like alien creatures. I never lasted a kitchen based on Overcooked. Yeah, it is tough. Let's see. Above Snakes, Foragers on sale. This is another one I've had in my wish list for 2 years, and I've just never gotten to it. But it looks so darn cute. The highly popular and quirky idle game that you want to actively keep playing. Explore, craft, gather, and manage resources. Find secrets and build your base out of nothing. Buy land to explore and expand. You playing Fallout 3 is a dream, to be honest. I would love to play a Fallout on stream. I don't know if our Cozy Cubs would love such a thing, but it is a dream. It is a personal dream of mine. I would love to play like, because I love those kinds of games. I love a good open world game. I love a game that you can just kind of explore, get lost in. But I haven't found one yet that I think would fit what our community is, if that makes sense, outside of like Breath of the Wild. I would love to play Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom on stream. I mean, imagine the coziness of those games. I have been looking for an excuse to replay. I have been looking for an excuse to replay Tears of the Kingdom. I was streaming Discord. Yeah, I have not looked into that. I do need to, though. Look into streaming on Discord. I was over here watching the VOD again. I got started on my iPad and I've been playing all day. That does sound really nice. Let's see. What is Kinseed? This is one, you know, I hear the Cubs talk a lot about um I hear the Cubs talk a lot about, hold on, let me just get rid of this. I hear the Cubs talk a lot of farming games, but I don't ever hear about Kinseed that much. Embark on a lifetime of adventure in a beautiful world of creativity and intrigue. Raise a family, customize your farm, run a business, craft items, and battle some marvelously malevolent monsters. But it's currently on sale right now. So Forager looks interesting. I know Fallout 3 I've had on my wish list forever. Cat Quest, I actually would consider getting Cat Quest. This is probably the cheapest it's ever been. I played the first one, which felt a little bit more like a mobile game. And I don't know if it's because it is a mobile game, but it felt like a mobile game. But the second one, I think, leaned a little bit more towards like feeling like a console experience. But I don't know. Kinseed is like Stardew, but I think you actually grow old and die, and then you play your kids. Oh wow, that's depressing. Oh, chat, you remember this game? This is one I think I'm definitely going to get. Despelote, a slice of life adventure about childhood in the magical grip soccer held over people of Quito, Ecuador in 2001. But the art style, chat, the art style is what really drew me in. I love a game that visually looks different, a game that clearly looks like something that they were very intentional about designing, and one that just doesn't look like everything else that's out there, you know? And I feel like this game definitely has that capability. So definitely one I might consider. Let's see. Hidden Folks, another hidden object game, if that's something that you think might be good. Bear and Breakfast is another one I actually was really interested in. It's a laid-back management adventure game where you build and run a bed and breakfast, but you're a bear. I don't know why I feel like this might be a game that really sticks with me. So very much may consider playing this. I heard Bear and Breakfast was just okay, but I don't know. I thought you played this. No, I haven't played this one yet. I've looked into it, but yeah, haven't gotten about to playing it. Let's see. What else? Oh, these were ones I was interested in. Duck Detective. This was mentioned during the Wholesome Games Direct when we were looking at another game that we were interested in. They mentioned Duck Detective, and I really liked all the people presenting. They were just really funny. And I guess they were the same developers of this game. And so I went immediately to add this to my Steam wish list. And I think that this is one that I feel like could just be a good laugh. And so I may very well end up getting this one. Now there's two of these. There's Duck Detective and The Secret Salami, and then there's another Duck Detective game that is somewhere on this list. I can't remember. Okay. Let's see what else is on sale here. Untitled Goose Game, yeah, okay. Pacific Drive I might get for Spooktober. You drive this, like, I don't know if it's like a Ghostbuster style car, face the supernatural dangers of the Olympic exclusion zone with the car as your only lifeline in the driving survival adventure. Scavenge resources, load up your trusty station wagon. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I remember when this came out. It came out 2 years ago, and it looks really cool. I never actually ended up getting it, but I thought it was neat. I thought it was neat. Let's see. What else is there? What else is there? Chat, of this list of what we've seen so far, are there any of these games that are really standing out to you? That you're like, yeah, you should definitely get this. Open Roads is one I've been interested in for a while. Currently 50% off. It's a kind of a slice of life interactive story. So that's one I've kind of had a good eye on. Little Known Galaxy is one that I'm I'm always down to try a new farming sim, and see which one can pull me in the same way that Stardew has. But you join Space Alliance as a new captain in training and work with your crew to solve the mysteries of an ancient relic found on the Gray Planet. Little Known Galaxy is a cozy single-player RPG space adventure full of friendly characters, exploration, crafting, and farming. I remember when we first started playing Stardew, I don't remember who it was that came in and mentioned this game, but they really liked it. And so since then, I've kind of had my eye on it and have been curious about it. Echoes of the Plum Grove. I don't know if any of you have played this, but I always thought the art style was really cute. Let's see. What else? The Power Wash Simulator. I may just end up getting the first one just to try it. I know you all have talked about this game relentlessly. The joys of Power Wash Simulator. I can't imagine this game. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people talk about it. Let's see. What else is there? What else? Crypt Custodian. Hurdling. I remember when this one was announced, chat. This one, we saw this at last year's Wholesome Direct. Guide a herd of mysterious creatures on a stirring and beautiful journey into the mountains and beyond. I think what really pulled us in about this when we watched the trailer together was the fact that it just like had such a beautiful like world. But it looks really cool. You should check out East Shade. I wouldn't have checked it out based on the cover photo, but it's super cozy looking. I think I actually have East Shade. I think I actually already have it. I haven't gotten to it yet, but yeah. Let's see. Wheel World. Eastward was one that I was actually really interested in too. Yeah. I was actually really interested in this one, so I may have to get this. The dev explanation video is what got me. Season looks cute. I have it on my wish list. Yeah, I've had Season on my wish list for 2 years now. Oh my gosh. But it was one that I really liked visually. That looked pretty cool. What about Core Keeper? Does anyone know anything about Core Keeper? Explore a vast cavern of creatures, relics, and resources in a mining sandbox adventure for 1 to 8 players. Mine, build, craft, and farm to unravel the mystery of the ancient core. It could be good. There are so many games and I get decision anxiety about new ones. And then I just play Stardew again. I'm the same way. I'll end up getting a number of these games and then end up mostly playing Stardew anyway. Planet of Lana 2. I really want to get this. It's not that big on sale though. So it's like, even if I skip it for the sale, I'm still going to get it at some point. And the same with Mio, Memories in Orbit. I remember we tried this, and ironically enough, chat, this actually is on sale. Or it's not on sale, but it actually has a physical release on Switch. And it came out, it released in January, really? I remember playing the demo for this game last year, and I wasn't the biggest fan of the demo. Like, I found it to be a little confusing, but I love the art style. So hopefully, starting the game from the actual beginning would be better, but I always try to get my indie games on Steam just because I think that's just easier. But yeah, this was one I was really interested in. Unfortunately, I don't think it's that much on sale either. Yeah, it's 25% off. So even if you miss the Steam sale, it's not that much of a, I don't think it's that much of a hit. But oh yeah, this was one we were interested in too. Buy Sweet Carol. This was one that we were talking about playing for last Spooktober. We never actually ended up getting around to it, but it almost feels like it was created with the sort of Disney princess motif in mind. And but as a sort of a horror, dark sort of fantasy game. But the art style was a big reason why we wanted to try it. And I think when you really think about it, most of those Disney princess Disney movies are horror films or horror stories in one way or another that they try to make cute for younger audiences. But when you really think about it, they're actually pretty tragic. You know what I mean? Like Little Mermaid, you know, Sleeping Beauty, you know, like they're actually pretty they're pretty wild. Trapped in a tower, put in a coma. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I'm like, no, these are not like, they're like, oh my God, I love these characters. I'm like, yeah, I guess I could just never relate to it. I was like, these are actually pretty tragic tales. But have you played Spiritfarer? I think you'd love it. I loved Spiritfarer. This was the other, this was the horror game that we were talking about, chat. Omari. Explore a strange world full of colorful friends and foes. When the time comes, the path you've chosen will determine your fate and perhaps the fate of others as well. And they want girls to aspire to that. Yeah, it's just wild. It's wild. Intermagnolia. Overwhelmingly positive. Some of these games I don't remember adding. Yeah, maybe I did. Overwhelmingly positive, really. Oh, Nevergrave, I do remember, was one I was interested in. The Witch and the Curse. It's mostly positive. Yeah, I think I really liked I think I liked the art style when I saw it. I didn't know it had a release date. It looks like it came out this year. And Cuphead. I do remember, I think I got Cuphead, but I don't know. I think I might have gotten it on Switch. If I'm remembering. Actually, do I? Yeah, I think I got it on Switch. Moomin Troll. Soul Quest. Oh yeah, Soul Quest. Wait, this game finally came out? What the heck? I didn't even know. I added this 3 years ago, chat. Sometimes I'm like, keeping up with how like these indie games that you add and like whether or not they are actually gonna come out. Sometimes I'll look at my list and I'm like, oh, this came out already? When? But it looks like it came out in May, so it was not that long ago. Not that long ago. Okay. Let's see. Keeper. Oh, Adorable Adventure and Duck Side of the Moon. These were two cute games that we kind of tried. We tried the demo for this one. Adorable Adventure was one that I did not try the demo for, but I definitely interested in. Castlevania Collection. Slime Rancher 2. Is there a big difference between Slime Rancher and the second one? Coral Island. Every time I see a Steam sale, Coral Island's usually on sale for about 18. Is this really worth getting? Like, is it really worth getting? Blueprints is one I want to like, but because it's a puzzle game, I don't know if I'd actually like it. Wow, Sackboy of Big Adventures. $20. Oberdin, for some reason, is never on sale. I almost feel like I need to buy it just because I need to get it off this wish list because it's never going to go on sale. And I know that. Wander Song. Oh, yeah, this one. Yeah, this one's not going to go on sale either. But every time I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I really want to play this on stream. Yeah, Sackboy's on PC. Yeah. I wanted to get it because I thought it would be a fun little like platformer. Yeah, I think I might get Wonder Song just off of principle. Disney's Epic Mickey. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. And then, of course, oh, Live Alive. You know, chat, you know how much I love 2.5D games. I love games with that sort of 2D HD art style. But this one I think has a physical edition, so I may just get it on Switch. I think I'm trying to bring that back a little bit to where like if it does have a physical edition on Switch, I feel like I may just get it for Switch, you know? Like just because I really want to have more physical games and have kind of fallen off a little bit because of Steam, where it's like I'll just get it on Steam and then I can just play it. But I really like having a collection of games. I like having a collection that I feel like represents who I am as a gamer and like, you know, so for me, I may just like if it is on Switch, I may just get it for Switch and have that be the determining factor. Because some games are only on Steam. Like for a lot of indie games, I usually will get them on Steam. And Steam has kind of become my indie machine. I play a bunch of indie games on it. But if it is a game like this or Octopath Traveler or something like that, you know, or like any like mainline Nintendo game, you know, that is on, you know, Switch, then maybe I'll do that. Do you play Stardew on PC or Switch? I've played it on Switch, but I mostly play it on PC. Mostly. Okay, what else, chat? What else? This game just came out too, Outbound. It's not that much on sale, so I may skip it this time around, but it is one that I am interested in playing at some point. Deltarune, never really played it, but it's also not that much on sale. Let's see, Hades 2. I still haven't really gotten into Hades 1, so I'm going to pass on that for now. Moonlighter 2, still not really gotten into Moonlighter 1, so I'm going to pass on that for now. Let's see. Town to City, I'm pretty sure I have that, so I don't know why this is on my wish list. Let's see. Metaphor ReFantasio is on sale for pretty huge discount. I don't know if I would love it, though. Like, I feel like I would love it as a fan of JRPGs. I feel like I would love it, but I don't know that I would love it, you know? I think I'd have to go and like actually, I'd have to go actually see it. Have you played any of the Persona games before? I have not. And it's not by any major reason. I just never got to them. Just never really got into them. But every time I see a trailer for Persona, I'm like, oh, I think I would like that game. But then I never actually go and play it. They're pretty long and story heavy. Is there a Persona game that you think is like really like a great starting point? Like if I were to look at this list here of all the, because there's like Persona 3, there's Persona 5. Oh my gosh, they have so many. Is Metaphor ReFantazio kind of in the same Persona universe, or is it its own thing? I feel like the Persona games always end up being really popular. Persona 5, the Phantom X, Persona 4, like there, oh my gosh. There's so many. I like Persona 5 Royal. It's the best one. Would it ruin it if I started with 5? I hate to say it, Chad. I do kind of judge a little bit when someone is like, yeah, I've never played, like for instance, they're like, I've never played a Final Fantasy game, but I'm going to start with the most latest one. Like I'm going to start with Rebirth. And I'm like, wait, what? You're not even going to play Remake first? Like I hate to say it, Chad. I do kind of judge a little bit. I'm like, the stories are all different and not connected. Oh, so you can really play any of them. Interesting. I don't know if I should start with 5 though. Oh, this is different though. Persona 5 Strikers. I don't know. I'll have to find where like the Persona games are. But Metaphor is one that, yeah. Metaphor wouldn't be a bad place to start. Yeah, maybe I'd start here and then see about going into some of the other ones. Yeah, I'll think about it. Don't know why I added Forza Horizon. I think at one point 2 years ago, I thought I would maybe try to get into racing games again. So I used to play them back when I was like in middle school. And then I fell off. I haven't played one since like 8th grade. But I thought I would because it was on sale for like $15, and then I just never got it. I don't think I ever will play it, but you know. Let's see. Oh, Dragon Quest HD 2D remake. I would play this. But I feel like I don't ever finish. I don't know. I feel like I don't ever finish these games. I really wish I did. Like I never finished Octopath Traveler. I got to the end and just like didn't want to beat it. Like didn't want to like see it end. Let's see. Octopath Traveler 0. Chat, this is the game I was telling you about that when I was asking for your opinion on whether I should get a physical version of a game that's on Steam. Like if it's on Steam, should I get the physical? And I was actually referring to Octopath Traveler 0, which is on sale. Like you can get the physical on Switch 2. And I'm like, man, I would like the Switch 2 version. I think I have Octopath Traveler 1 on Switch. I got Octopath Traveler 1 on Steam as well. And then I got Octopath Traveler 2 on Steam. But I have Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 on Switch. Don't know when that happened. But then I think I eventually went to Steam, and then I got it on Steam and was like, yeah, this is way better. But I think because the Switch 2 is like, you know, much more powerful, or a bit more powerful, I think it might actually run pretty well. I definitely prefer physical when traveling to play. Yeah, it's tough. I love my Steam Deck. I really do. And usually when I travel, I will always bring both. Then I don't have to decide. And obviously Nintendo has its perks because there's a lot of games that Nintendo only gets. So if I want to play like Yoshi or any Mario game, or, you know, Zelda or Metroid or any of those games, that's how I've justified having a Switch. Like Zelda is a big reason. But then there's other games where I'm like, yeah, I really feel like I should have got this physical because I like having the physical version if I can, you know. Zero's supposed to be really super good. It's on sale right now. But I still need to finish Octopath Traveler 2. I never finished it. And I feel the same about Final Fantasy Tactics. I grew up playing this game. And so the fact when I saw they had a remake, I was like, oh man, I got to get that. And it's on sale. You can get it. I think you can get it for $35 on Switch too, which is really cool. right. I think that's most of the list here. Everything else at the bottom here is stuff that either hasn't come out. Hello there, Grave Seasons. I'm talking to you. Yeah, the rest are games that either haven't come out yet or are games that, like Milky Delivery, really excited for that. I cannot wait for that game. So excited. Tiny Delivery. Cozy Grove 2, very excited. There's so many great games. Cozy Grove 2 comes out next month. Oh my gosh, Chad, this comes out next month. I totally forgot. So July may be Cozy Grove because we're going to continue with Cozy Grove 1. Well, the problem is that yeah, that's a tough thing to chat about this game. It's the one thing I don't like about it. It's time gated. So you can only ever go so far in a day. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like I didn't get through enough of Cozy Grove 1 to feel like I actually played it. You know what I mean? Mr. Records, of course, and then a bunch of others. So that is my Steam wish list as it stands. That is 300 plus games wrapped into one. Very, very long list. But I don't know. I would love to know, of that list, is there a game that you feel is one that I should definitely get, or one that is like, oh, you gotta jump on that sale because that is a must buy. And I would also love to know your opinions on physical versus digital media. I always love to get the physical, so, but I always there's always this realm of guilt that I get where I'm like, oh man, but I could get it on Steam, and then all I have to do is carry my Steam Deck around. I don't have to worry about it. But I love jumping on the Steam sales. I love all of it's a great chance to jump on a lot of like small, just fun, cute, easy games that you can just kind of just jump into. I think it's a lot of fun. So I will inevitably be spending more money than I probably should, but it's for the love of indie, you know? It's for the love of indie. All right. Well, Chad, thanks for indulging me on that. That was fun. That was a little fun. I wrote down as many as I could. Thank you so much. Let me know. I would love to know your thoughts though, Chad, if you have any opinions. If you have any opinions on what games you think I should dive into. I still have a couple of games on my laptop from a previous Steam sale, but I haven't tried yet. No, I'm the same way. I think there's probably a few games from, yeah, there's probably a few games from well over a year ago that I still have not tried. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Okay. Which one was like Pikmin work had me busy, so I'll rewatch. Which one was like Pikmin? Oh, it was like Tinykin? I think that was the name, Tinykin. That one did really look really fun though. It did look really fun. Inside, thank you so much for the follow. Dustborn looks cool. Dustborn, which one was that? Just lurking, but enjoying the vibes. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for hanging with us. We've been doing a lot of random little things today. I need to check out Dustborn. Yeah, I do. I think that was another one I was a bit interested in. And I keep, every time I boot up Stardew Chat, I'm reminded that I didn't update my mods. And so there's a number of mods that are outdated. I keep forgetting though, if you can believe it. I know. I am the worst. So if you see anything on this one that is a little, it's a little fragmented, just know that's the reason why. That's the reason why. Oh, I didn't change the... Let me see, chat. 1 second. Okay. We're good. We're good. All I've been wanting to do is play modded Stardew. I'm ready to go home. Well, hopefully this provides you with a little bit of comfort in these non-Stardew days. We got you. We got you though. All right. Chat, are we ready? Are we ready to dive in? Okay. And the reason I ask if you're ready is because today we are doing something we have not done before. There is a desert. There is a desert that we just got access to. And I think we should go check it out. We need to go see it. The question is, how do we get to this desert? And are we going to face a number of creepy crawlies when we get there? Of course, we got to give chat. There's the saying that to be known is to be loved. To me, I say, this is all it takes. This is all it takes. This is all it takes. I know. Some of you may say, you're too easy. You're too easy to impress. You're too easy to charm. You're too easy to fall in love. You know, listen. My therapist would say the same thing. And I say that I'll tell you the same thing that I tell them. Leave me alone. Let me live, okay? Just let me live. Best line would be, hey, you, I'll be thinking of you. Oh, that's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Okay? And listen, you want to judge me? You want to judge me for how easy I am to be wooed and impressed? It's not my fault. Blame Disney Channel, where all you had to do was be the star of the basketball team and everyone loved you. The guys, the girls, the parents of the girls, everybody. All you had to do was play basketball and know how to sing a little bit. That's all you had to do. And listen, I thought that that's all it took. Did I go as far as to learn how to do those things, thinking that it would have the same effect? I don't want to talk about it. But no, it didn't have the same effect. Anyway, let's take a look at our list. We've got a lot of stuff to do. We have a growing list of tasks that must be completed. We've got produce and forage to complete. We got a golden clock to acquire. And as you can see, we are very poor. I don't remember why. I think we were, what did we buy? Where's our money? Chat, where's our money? We barely 300,000. What is this? Oh, is it from all the obelisks? Oh. You went to the wrong school? I know. Trust me. Trust me. I know. But unfortunately, that decision wasn't up to me. You know what I mean? Did we get the winery? No, we did not. I don't know where our money went, Chad. I know we spent a lot on the obelisk, but I could have sworn we got that money back. But maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Look at this, chat. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I would like... This is what procrastination looks like. I still can't get into our little room. Why? Because I keep forgetting to update my mods. And because of that, I cannot access this room. And I will not be able to access this room until I remember to update my mods. I'm pretty sure that's why. I'm very confident that is why. Okay. Now, before we go to that area to get absolutely annihilated by all of the mobs that we'll inevitably face, you know, I always like to start a day here in the valley. Just doing a little decorating, you know? Something low stakes, something easy. You know? And what better way than to redesign this space? So I'm thinking... I don't think I'm going to take it any farther than this, you know? I think I may just, yeah. I'm going to push the fence back one. Would you like a cub minder? You know, I don't even know if it would help. I want to say that it would, but I don't know that it will help. Chad, I will be honest with you. I'm a little behind on the admin stuff. I'm behind on the schedules. I'm behind on life. I'm behind on Love Island. I'm just behind. And one thing I will say though is I can do better. I can get better. I just need a day off. We can get all this stuff done. That's all I need. We have any fences? We do. We do have fences. Wonderful. I do like these flower bushels too. I kind of want to put a few of those up. Maybe some grass. You know what? Maybe we'll put some grass starters up and then we'll throw a couple of these other things around. I need a clone. I've been saying that. It's so funny you say that. I've been saying that for years, that all I need is a clone. And I promise you, we get all this stuff done. I either needed a clone or an assistant. That's all I need. I think I'm gonna, maybe we'll do the whole thing with grass, or maybe we'll do little plots, right? Do like a little plot here. Now I'm pretty sure you know, before I even finish this, maybe I'll just tear all of this down. Maybe I'll tear all of this down, and then we'll see how much space the winery takes, because that's going to be an important thing. Before I do any decorating, I just need to know what it's going to look like. I do know it's going to take a lot of space, probably up to here. So most of this will be taken, and then we can decide if we want to. We're just going to end up having one path that's going to be here. Probably end up blocking that off too, but yeah. Yeah, we'll do. You need a real day off where you take time for yourself. We'll be okay. I know, you're right. And I would love to take like a full day off. Maybe take myself to the movies, or like just go sit at the park, or just like maybe go to like a coffee shop and just sit for a little bit. I would love to do that. I really would. I really would. Unfortunately, I really don't have the time. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I really don't. Let's see. We'll put some of this stuff away. I guess we'll throw these barrels in here too. I do want to keep the lightning rods and stuff. I'll just have to find a different spot for them. They don't really fit right now, unfortunately. But let me go check and see if there's anything that we can sell, because I do want to try to see if we can get that winery up. Maybe we'll focus on that, and then the next time we'll do the desert thing. I don't know if we're gonna have time for both, but we can at least do one. So let me see if I can get a quick 500,000. I was thinking, oh, I could sell a bunch of iridium, but I can't access my room, so can't do that. All right, what can we do though? Let's see. We could put some ancient fruit up, I guess. Make some jams. Oh, that was 45 already. Holy moly. All right, we're just going to use the rest. And then we'll just throw, I guess, some of these persimmons in there. Perfect. So we got that. The rest of this stuff will get sold. Look at this. 49,000. My goodness. Persimmon wine, I think we'll sell that. Potato juice. Oh, we said we were going to keep that. Persimmon jelly, we'll sell that. Yeah, the potato juice, we need that for this quest. 3 days left. Let me actually go see, because did we already start the other stuff? Now I'm getting a little confused here. I think we did say that we would just make fairy dust, and then the fairy dust would kind of finish the rest for us. Yeah, okay. So 2 more days. 2 more days. So on the last day. Yeah, the last day we should be good. Now, we do need... Oh, rip. Where do we put those, Where do we put those, gosh, I forgot. Those hardwood trees. I think we put a bunch in the desert, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'll go take a look, because we do need 200 hardwood before we can even build this. If we have to, we'll just chop all these trees down, and maybe we'll replant some fruit trees or something. I don't know. We did learn a valuable lesson here, though. This is why you don't sell the stuff. Really anything. Because this game is going to punish you for it. Like it is right now. Let's see, I'm going to move this stuff over. I'm going to go check for the spot again to see if it's got anything. We'll move this stuff, though. We're saving this. We'll sell this nectarine wine. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything we can make? I always like to have these kegs running with something. Even if it's not something we really care about. I'll sell these raisins, though. I'll keep 10. Raisins surprisingly sell for a decent amount. Like, pretty crazy. I think when we make this winery, we're gonna have a bunch of dehydrators, or we'll move the dehydrators in there and just get a bunch of raisins going. All right, let's see. What else? What else do we have? I could throw, yeah, I guess I'll throw these pineapples in there, get some pineapple wine going. Beautiful. Nice. Okay. Oh no, I just realized our fencing broke. It loves to do that. There we go. All right, I think that's fine. Okay. Good. Good stuff. Let's check inside this room to make sure that we're... What is this, garlic? Do we need that for anything? Oh, yes, here we go. This is where the money is. And then we'll go to the desert and we'll go see just to make sure. All right. Nice, 100,000. Wait, did I miss one? Why did it only give me... God, I might have missed one. It's supposed to be 60. Oh, the oil of garlic recipe. Gotcha. Okay. I guess while we wait, I'm just going to throw in... What is this? Ancient fruit wine? Yeah, maybe I'll just wait. Just wait. Is there any place that we're cooking up some ancient fruits? Man, it seems like everything's ready. I keep forgetting I can't. I'm going to have to wait. I need to leave those open. Let's go check this pan spot, see if we can actually get the final skeleton thing that we need. I don't know if someone said that you can get the skeleton from here or if it has to be from the water, but... Oh, here's another spot. No way. Is that it? Let's go, Chad. Let's go. To think, generations have come and gone while this little bone lay hidden beneath the soil. Now it's mine. And would you look at that? With this donation, we've got another full set completed. I've got a little something waiting for you behind the counter when you're ready for it. Wow. Look how far we've come. The collection looks fantastic, and it's all thanks to you, Bjorn. Here, as a way of saying things, I want to teach you something. Not the sound I wanted, but I'll take it. The device will allow you to raise ostriches back home. Just place the incubator in a barn, place an ostrich egg inside, and wait. Getting your hands on an ostrich egg is a different story, though. I'll leave that up to you. Well, now the real work begins. I'll be studying these bones for years to come. Farewell. So I wonder, I mean, it'd be cool if he could, like, give us one, though. Can we collect any rewards? Oh. Holy moly, he gave us 6. He gave us 6. That is very generous, sir. I'm going to put this banana tree up. I mean, maybe I should, you think I should put the banana trees in our greenhouse? You think we should start putting exotic fruits? Should we change up the trees back home, or should we leave them? You have all the island journal scraps? I'm not too sure. Not too sure. All right, so we only have 11. All right, so... Okay, so for golden walnuts, we have 120 out of 130. That is not bad. That's not bad, chat. I will say. That's not bad. I like them on the island, to be honest. Okay, me too. Yeah. Just curious if that was something that you all had done in the past, if any of you had put some of these exotic ones. I will agree, like the bananas and the mangoes and even the nectarines, I kind of like on the island. And then back home, you know, I'll do like peaches and things like that, but yeah. I will say, though, I think I am running out of space to put these banana trees. Looks like I could put one here. I could put one here. Oh, no. So they lie. Oh, okay. All right. I guess it's going there. I don't know. No problem. Oh, so they lie. Oh, well then. Well then. All right, let's put some of this stuff away. Let's see, we got some geodes. Throw those in there. We're fresh out of geodes right now. Let me go check on... I think we're good here. I'm gonna go check on the other ones. Now we put a bunch of hardwood trees down here. Looks like some of them are coming along, but some of them are still just ideas. All right. So those trees are still going. So we won't be able to, I mean, I could, like I said, I could tear down the trees that we have and we could build new trees, or I could just keep hitting the... Oh wait, she's actually in bed. What? She sleeps in your bed? No way. Wow. Bed buddies. What? That's crazy. No way, man. No, this is kind of... We could tell ghost stories and like, what is it? Pillow talk? Oh, she's your wife? Wait, what? Nah. Oh gosh, what a life. What a life. Sad, I just got to put it out there. We're pretty lucky, you know? We're pretty lucky. I've never been a lucky one. Never won the lotto. Never got picked for those radio sweepstakes, you know? You'd be the 11th caller or whatever. But man, we secured a wife, I will say. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, 51st dates. We have fun, chat. We have fun. All right. Oh, she's hanging out. She's reading her book. Hello, wifey. What's going on? I'm really happy living here. It's that easy, chat. It's that easy. I'm over here. I'm swooning. I'm swooning, chat. It's so easy. I'm easy to please. Are we surprised that we share a bed with our spouse? I'm surprised that our spouse wants to share a bed with us. If my partner called me their bed buddy again. Bed buddies. Oh gosh. Les Swoon. Les Swoon. What a life. What a life, chap. All right, let me let's get down to business, chat. We're in the business of farming, right? And we're slacking over here. What is where do I even put this stuff? Oh, here we go. All right, we'll throw this in there. Got this stuff too. Get rid of that. Gotta throw this in there. Okay. All right, we got some legend row we could put somewhere. Thanks for stopping by my sunroom yesterday. I usually drink tea alone, but it was fun to share with you. I've enclosed instructions on how to prepare and grow your own tea leaf. No pressure, but if you do end up growing some, make sure to bring me some tea. Oh, right. Where is that anyway? I do not see such a thing. Hmm. So how do I get an ostrich incubator? Also, where did I put our ostrich egg? Because I do not see it here. It's a crafting recipe. Yes, I do not see it. I do not see it. Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? 50 hardwood? Are you joking? Oh man. What was the reason we even needed to do this? Was there something we were trying to build? No. All right. Let's see. I think I'm gonna have to tear down those trees on the island. How many of these do we have? Yeah, I have 118. I know we have those hardwood trees in the desert, but I don't feel like waiting for those. I think hardwood is the only thing that's keeping us from building this winery. Build an ostrich army, but was there something related to the actual like quest? I can always build these again. So it's fine that I have to tear them down. Yeah, like was there something related to perfection? There was a reason that we needed to build this ostrich egg thing. All right. So with that, that puts us at 200. I'm just going to tear these down too, because why not? To build an ostrich army. Recipe completion. Maybe that's why. I don't know where we put our ostrich egg though. Oh, here it is. I'm going to put it in the coop with the other eggs because it's just be safer there, I think. All right, Chad, here we go. They said we need 500,000 and a boatload of hardwood. Well, we got both of those things. I don't remember what else we needed though. let's see. There it is. A winery. 25 iridium bars. Oh no, 30 kegs. That's what we needed. 30 kegs. Chat, where are we going to get 30 kegs from? Like, where on earth are we going to get 30 kegs? Oh, we did say we're going to take them out of Grandpa's. I don't know what we're going to do with Grandpa's room, chat. I really don't. Grandpa's shed was a great idea for a while, and it was going to be used as a additional sort of winery space. But now that we actually have a winery, I'm going to have to come up with some other thing to do with Grandpa's sort of shed here. One more day for those. So maybe I'll skip a day, let those finish, and then grab those. What is this? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, it should be 30 here. I can just take these ones. It's unfortunate that I have to give her 30 kegs unless I hope she's going to reimburse me and put those in the actual winery. But we'll need a space out front to like put some winery things like grapes and stuff like that. I guess while we're waiting for more ancient fruit, I'm just going to put up some whatever fruit we can. I'd rather have something going than nothing. Yeah, so we're just going to put those there. Beautiful. All right, chat, we're going to skip a day. We're just going to fast forward because this will be done. All of this will be done. And we can finally see, because I really do want to design this winery space, but I'm not really sure. Not really sure. The spreading weeds have caused damage to your farm. Well, you know, isn't that how it goes sometimes? Isn't that how it goes? We also have to cook every recipe here. My goodness. Let me see if are there any recipes? I don't even remember. I don't really check the TV too often. I feel like most of those recipes I already know. All right, so let's go see if they're done. I don't think they are. I think they still needed more than a day. The bookseller will eventually sell a book that sells you all the TV recipes. Oh, that'll be nice. All right. I know she doesn't open for another like 20 minutes or something. Let's see what Susan's farm is looking like. Still looks good. Oh, she opens at 9. Oh, well, would you look at that? Let's see. Is there anything that we... Today's Scarlett's birthday. Let's see. The luau is coming up. Dance of the Moonlight Jellies. A lot of good stuff. So yeah, I can craft the ostrich incubator after we make this one, because I don't want to. Actually, you know, while we're waiting here, we can't even do anything here. I don't have the 30 kegs. So even if we wanted to, we gotta wait till these are done. I was like, wait, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm gonna put these away. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so these are not done yet. So it's still 12 more hours. So they won't even be done till 9 p.m. We could, you know, I mean, if we really wanted to, we could just fast forward another day just so that those are done. But I don't know. I always feel sad not taking advantage of the day. But we could. We could. Let's go to the the desert. Let's see how the desert is looking though. I learned my lesson. Always have cactus fruit on us. Okay, so it looks like some of these trees are done. So I'm gonna just chop them as they're finished, because I'd like to think that actually helps us get more trees faster than if we just had a bunch. And then maybe I'll just replant these as we go along. Maybe not fertilize those ones though. Okay, so we got this. So now we got a little bit over. So we could, I'm gonna wait, but we could make another. Could make the ostrich incubator if we really wanted to. Let me see if I have. Oh, we do. I guess while we have it, we'll just use them. Yeah. All right, and then we'll put this stuff away. All right. So now we're heading back home. We're gonna go. Oh wait. Oh my goodness! It's the last day for Pam's quest. Oh my goodness. I forgot. Good thing we didn't go to sleep, because we would have missed that. That would not have been great. All right, here we go. So we got the potatoes. Great. Awesome. We put those potatoes. I really hope this works too. In here. Put those in there. We take the fairy dust that we made. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, is that enough? It should be. We did the math. How many do we need? Oh my gosh. I was like, why are we missing one? I did the math. Okay. All right. Final day, just like we planned. Let's go to Pam's. Oh, there we left a tomato or a potato on the table, because of course we did. But we got the 12 potato juice, which I guess they didn't want to call it vodka, but all right. And then on the final day, place in Pam's kitchen. Okay. Now Pam, I don't remember where Pam lives. Oh yeah, this is her house. Right, here we go. Beautiful. I will say 3,000 gold is not really anything. You know, it's not really anything. But that's all right. Now we head back home. We hit the hay. Now that we finished that quest. So much work for a 12-pack of beer. I'm saying. All right, here we go. So now that these are done, this should give us the 30 we need. All right, so that gives us the 30 we need. Beautiful. I guess I should put some of them in this, right? Beautiful. All right, so we have our 30 now. Now we're just waiting until time runs out. I guess I'll grab these. I feel like I always just let these money bags just sit there because they're not really worth that much. I wish we could make money trees though. All right, so let's go over to Robin's. We can finally, well, before we go over to Robin's, let me make sure there's no random plant or random tree trying to grow in our spot here. Should be good. It should be good. We'll see. In fact, I'm actually going to move these. No, like, no. No. All right. I'm actually going to move that too because I'm not sure if I want it to start here or if I want it to start here. I want to see how much it would block the house to have it that close. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, so we have the 30 kegs. We have the, what is it? The hardwood. Oh no. Oh boy. And I can't get into my room. So I have to do it here. It's going to take 8 hours. That's not great. That is not great. Fairy dust? Does that work here? No flipping way. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 25. Oh my gosh. Chad, I don't know what I would do without you. I do know what I would do. I would have waited 8 hours. And now we don't have to. I always forget about the fairy dust because I don't use it really ever. And there it is. Holy moly. And as we expected, this thing is much bigger than we thought. Much bigger. Now, chat, what do you think? Do you think it's good to put it here and create a row of just 2 going along this path? Do we want to put it in the middle? You know what I mean? Do we want to leave it here? Do we want to put it back here to give us just a little bit more space up front? We want to put it in the middle. The middle would be about here. And we would probably have to move that fence back. We'd probably move the fence back 1. But like middle, but like maybe middle, but like right here. I think maybe even here. What do you think? Right here? This is... Then we have 2 rows here. We'd have 2 rows here. So we could do it here. I'd even drop down 1 row because the path would be so small outside your house. That's true. So even just something like this. If it's too tall, we can move it later. Yeah, I didn't even think about the height too. Yeah, that's going to play a role. Okay, we'll just put it here. We'll see how tall it gets. And then it's going to take her 7 days to do. My goodness. My goodness. Now, during those 7 days, we'll head over to um, the forest, or not the forest, but uh, the desert, and we'll do all that stuff while she gets that going. But we did it. We got it built. It costs a lot of resources. Those 30 kegs. That's so it's not even the 500,000. That's a lot. Like, it's 30 kegs. Like, we realize just how much 30 kegs cost to make. It's not easy to get 30 kegs. So, but we did it. And now it's gonna go here. So you'll have 2 rows here that maybe we'll put I don't know. Not sure what we're gonna put. I'm gonna leave this area. Actually, this area we may convert into like where we put the grape starters and things. We'll put them here. So we'll do like a couple different rows going all the way down. So we'll do like a row and then a space and then a row and then space. And so these will become like kind of the winery stuff. And this will be the area that we decorate for the winery. So we'll have some flowers and we'll have some grass. We'll get all this stuff out of here too. We'll have 2 paths. So we'll have a path here. Yeah, we'll put a path here that'll lead into the winery. And then that same path will go right here. So the paths will converge here and then go up, I think. Something like that. I think that'll be fun. That'll be a fun idea. So it's nice because this used to be where we did a lot of our crops, but because we don't really do crops here anymore. We have the greenhouse for that. I always wondered what we would use this space for. And now it's becoming very clear that now we got a whole space for winery. So it's cool. It's always fun to be able to have an idea for a space in this game, change it up over time, and just see how the space evolves. Because when we were first building things in this game, when we first started, I thought to myself, I said, I'm probably never going to change this because of how much work it took to build this space initially. But now it feels like any area could change, if we really, really wanted it to, which I think is pretty cool. So I love it. It's not practical, but a table / chairs outside the winery would be cute. Oh yeah, tables and chairs. That would be nice. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a really great idea. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Because it is a winery after all. So we'll get some stuff like that going. I think that will be a wonderful idea. Yeah. Turning our farm into Bertha's vineyard. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Y'all are too funny. Truly, truly. Too funny. All right, chat. This is unfortunately where our stream must come to an end. I do have a doctor's appointment that I have to get to. So as much as I would love to continue our journey on Bertha's Vineyard, which is definitely the name it's going to be, we do have to run. But we will be back, chat. We will be back tomorrow. We'll continue our work on Bertha's Vineyard. I'm excited to see what it looks like when it's actually built. And then tomorrow we'll also go to the desert and tackle whatever new creepy crawlies we find there. But I will say, thank you so much for the joy you brought to this stream just by being here, whether you lurked in the background or you were here actively engaging in the chaos that ensued while I went through my 300 game wish list. You helped me decide whether or not I should get Octopath Traveler 0 on Switch as a physical copy. And you brought joy to my day. So truly, truly, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being present in the stream. It really does mean the world. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll try to get up that wish list video on YouTube and turn it into something. I have no idea what to turn that into, but we'll try to get that up on YouTube, and we'll be back. We'll be back soon. Anyway, chat, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.